Hi and welcome to MySQL Database Connection developed in VisualBasic.net. Now let me show you guys how this works. We can add new data. Let's assume we want to add new data. Let's just click on reset, and right there let's enter as follows. So I'm going to make that up, and the name happens to be Grace Stanmore. Address of Stanmore, 83 Stanmore Road. There we go. And postcode, telephone number. There. All we then need to do is add Grace Stanmore straight onto the system. As you can see, there's nothing in there, so let's click on add new. There we go, and that is Grace Stanmore details straight onto the database itself. Alright, the other thing we can do is we can print. There, I don't have a printer on my system, but we can print. Look at it. All you then need to do is click on print, and you print it right away. Exit that. What else can we do? Assume we want to update the details of any of these. Let's select Danny, and in here we just want to maybe change the telephone number. Let's come in here and just change that to 148, and that's the details of Danny Jonathan. So let's take a good look at the telephone here. All we then need to do is click on update. There, as you can see, the details of Danny, the telephone details has changed to the last 3 digits, 148. Okay, you can exit out if you want, and we can even search. Let's assume we want to search for maybe Tony. Let's come in here and just press enter, and there we go. Those are Tony's information, and click on reset. And the other thing is we can even select Tony's details here. There, you see that. Okay, but if you click in here, let's assume you click in here, you will end up with an error asking you to click on the side here where the arrow is. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Visual Basic development environment, and we'll put one of these brilliant tutorials together. Let's start a new tutorial. I'm going to click on create new, and right here I'm going to select Visual Basic, and let's come in here and select next. There, I'm going to give it a name. Let's call it VB underscore MySQL Connector. MySQL Connector. There, and let's click on create. There we go. Okay, my development environment is ready. I'm going to change the size of the form to 1000. Let's say 1014 by 788. Press enter, and that's it. Now let's come in here, go straight to the tools. I'm going to select plain. Let's come right here. There we go. Or panel, it's called here. For this very first panel, I'm going to change the size to about 996 by 97. And let's come straight to the back color here. Let's change that to cadet blue. There. Now let's drag it right here. That's fine. I'm going to copy another panel. I might as well just copy this. Hold on to your control, click and drag. And this very one that I've just copied, I'm going to change the color of that one to the back color, back to control. There we go. And this one that is now changed to control, let's reduce it that much and that much. And I'm going to embed it straight in here. Just move it up here. I'm now going to copy both of them again. Just hold on to your control, just click and drag. Let's copy this one as well. There. And I'm going to combine both together and just drag it that much. Bring this one back in a little bit. Yeah. Just like that, and just let's try that again. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, I'll repeat the same thing for this. Now combine them and bring it down. Exactly. And reduce this there. I will now copy this very one again. Reduce this much. Okay, let's copy it first before increasing it. Right, now grab control, hold on to your control, click and drag. And I'm going to place this right at the edge here. Okay, now select both of those and just drag it down. Okay, let's bring it in. Okay, just in like that. Okay, so let's add a label up there. So come straight to the toolbox here, grab a label, place that in there, and I'm just going to copy that same label, click, drag, and drop it here. I also need text box. Come right down here, grab some text box. This one will do, and I will also need one text box here, or maybe reduce this very one. Yeah, about that much. And let's add another panel here. Yeah. Change the color to control. There. Now I'm going to add a text box there. That will be for the search. Just drop this down, just make it multi-line, drag it down. Okay, now this very one, I'm going to increase the size of those to about 24. The font size is 24. Make that bold 24. There we go. I'll move that up. Alright, that's looking good. Now let's copy this. Hold on to your control, click and drag. We have 2 now. We have 4 and 6. There. So right underneath here, I'm going to add data grid view. Where is it? Right here. Click and just drag it here. Data grid view. There we go. Now that is in place. Okay, this very one, let's change that to about 48 and make that bold. Come up here and change the font. I'm going to change the font to Connect Blue. There. No, not the background. The fonts. The 4 color. Okay, undo that. Do that again. Oh no, okay, I might as well type control. Come in here, 4 color, change the 4 color to Connect Blue. I'll just type it in instead of looking for it. There. Drag that up somewhere there. And let's change the font we have on it. So I'm going to change that to MySQL. Let's come right down here. MySQL connection. So nvb.net. There. So that is fine. So here, let's add some buttons here. We're gonna need maybe about 6. We have 1, 2, 4 and 6. We'll move all of this up so that I can sneak in 2 more right there. Okay, we'll fix that anyway. Alright, now the next thing is I'm going to change the data that I have in here. So let's change this to student ID. For your information, this is just about how to connect to database. It's not about student ID or whatever. It's just about how to connect. Okay, the next one is going to be surname and so on. So let's speed that up. Okay, that's taken care of now, and that's how it's looking. Let's come straight to the property here. I'm going to let's select the form. You see, with the form I want to get it centered, so let's go to start position, click on that and get it centered. Center screen. Now back in here, you see the toolbox. I'm going to add tooltip, and I will also add print documents and print dialog. So I've added those 3 objects. Let's select this print dialog and come straight to the property here. You see where we have document in the property. Let's change that to print document 1. There, that's taken care of. Okay, all of these I'm just going to select them individually and come right down here. You see where we have the search. I'm just going to type in there search, and this is going to be, I'm talking about the tooltip. That's going to be add new, change that, add new, update, delete, reset, print, and the last one that is going to be exit. Okay, and I've also changed the variable names for each of the component. That's btn exit, btn delete, and so on. You guys know how to do that. That's no big deal. That is it right there. The names have changed. Alright, and the same thing applies to the text box. They all bear the names that I have on my labels here. There. Okay, that's fine. Now, the most important part of this project is how to connect to the MySQL database. Okay, I'm going to go straight to the tools right here. Click on the tools. Let's come right down here. You see where we have NuGet package manager. Let's come down, select manager NuGet package for solution. Click on that, and this dialog box should pop up. Now select the browse. Click on browse. Now right in there, the search, enter MySQL. There we go. That is it. So I'm going to select this very first one. Click on that, and this dialog pops up. Now this check button here, just make sure it's checked, and then click on install. There we go. Now MySQL data has been installed to the system, so all you just need to do in here is to click on OK. There we go, and this license agreement pops up. Just click on I accept. There. Now MySQL is now being installed onto your system, and we are almost there now. Alright, MySQL is officially installed straight onto my system, so I am going to close the NuGet solution. I don't need that anymore. There. So the next thing I want to do now, okay, let's start work with the data connection. So I'm going to double click on the form itself, and the first thing I want to do now is I'm going to make sure right above the public class form 1, let's import the, I'm going to import my SQL, imports, that's with an S, my SQL, there we go, that's it right there, because I've already installed it, that's why I saw that, dot data, and it's going to be dot MySQL client there. And the other library that I'm going to import, let me import the following. That is going to be Microsoft Visual Basic Application. That's a dot VB application services. Then what about Windows services? Let me grab that of Windows services as well. I'm going to copy that and just paste that in here. Dot, no, that's going to be Microsoft dot Win32. Okay, that's fine. There. Now, right underneath the public class form 1, I'm going to declare the following. Dim my variable, I'm going to call it SQL can as new, and that is going to be MySQL. Let's just enter it myself. MySQL connection, where is it? There we go. That's one down. I also need another one for the command, so let me copy all of this. I'm going to change that to command instead of typing. Paste, and this is going to be my SQL command. Let's change this one to command, and here that will be my SQL command. Let's see, there we go. Now what else do I need? I need the reader as well, SQL reader, so I've called it SQLRD. The SQLRD is going to be my SQL reader, data reader, actually data reader. There we go. Alright, let's see. It's not an object, so I'm going to get rid of the new. Alright, what else do I need? Let me grab a table. So I'm going to call that SQL DT, data table. So that is going to be new. Okay, it's an object. Data table. And finally, I'm going to go for dim SQL data adapter. So let's change this one first to SQL, or I'm just going to call it DT uppercase A data adapter as new MySQL data adapter. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, now underneath, let me connect all of these. So the first one, dim server, so that is for my SQL server as string equals, that would be local, it's a local host there. And the next one is going to be for the username dim username as string as well, and the username is just root. There. Now the next one is going to be for password. Let's just copy, paste that underneath here, password, and this is going to, let me change this to password. And the password, let's make that up. You can call it admin. That'll be my password. And in here, I'm going to change that to the database name. Database name, let's make this up. We just call it MySQL connector, or just call it, yeah, okay, my connector. All right, that's going to be the name of my database, my connector. That's all. But the thing is, I don't have a database yet, and we'll create that together. But I will also need this private bitmap as bitmap. That I'm going to be using that for my printing. Okay, that is all done. So let me copy this very name, my connector, and I will then open up my database. Okay, that's my database here, but I don't have my connector there. I'll click on the schema there, click on the schema, let's create my connector, paste the name I've just copied, and I'll click on apply. So I'm now creating my connector. Click on apply again and finish. So let's look for my connector. That's it right there. Okay, now right click on the table inside my connector and select create and give it a name. The name, I'm calling it exactly the same name, my connector. And you see this arrow, we drop it down. Now the very first field I'm going to have in there, let me just make that up. I'll call that, let's use uppercase, student ID, and I'm going to make that the data type is integer, and the primary is the primary key. There's no non-value in there. It's got to be unique. I'm going to leave this out now because I'll be entering my own details in there. So I wanted to make it auto increment. No, I don't want that. So in here, the next one, I'm going to call that first name. And right underneath here, let's call that surname. And what else do we have? We have surname. I'm going to make this address, and the next one is going to be postcode. Yeah. Okay, and followed by telephone number. There we go. That is it, all done. In total, I have 6 fields, I believe. Yeah. Okay, let's click on apply. There we go. Click on apply again. And there, that is it. It's successfully created. Click on finish. So I finished with my SQL whatever table. So if I go into my table here, okay, select my SQL, that is it right there. Click on the table, there's nothing there. Okay, so let's minimize that. I'm back into our Visual Basic Development environment. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the form of the Visual Basic Development environment. Let's start work with some coding. The very first one I'm going to take care of is going to be my exit. So for my exit, I'm going to declare the following: dim I exit as dialog result. There. And this my dialog result, I'm going to be using that to validate whatever selection the user made when it comes to exiting the program. So I exit equals my message box dot show. And what do I want it to show? I want it to show confirm if you want to exit. There, that's the very first one. I'm going to put a comma. The next one is going to be the title, so I'm just going to call that MySQL connector. There, and let's come out of it, enter another comma, and that is going to be message box buttons dot yes or no, comma. The next one will be message box icon dot question. There. Okay, now that we have all of those in place, let's come right here and press enter, and I will now use an if statement. If I exit equals dialog result dot yes, then application dot exit. There, guys. So what I've just done in here, I declared a variable called iExit, and this iExit has the following: a message box, which you guys know how to create by now. Then I have one parameter here, the second parameter, my third parameter, or my third argument, and my fourth argument. So if the user selects yes, then we exit out of the application, else we just stay within the application. And this, the message box icon, that is the question mark that will appear on my message box. And that is all there is to that. So I'm going to run it. Let's run it so that you guys see what I'm talking about. Run. There we go, guys. So I'm going to click on exit. No, I don't want to exit. Yes, I do want to exit. You see that, guys? So that is how the exit button works. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of the first part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly.